So many people ask me, why don't we talk about sexuality in the church more? You know, and I'm that guy who they fly in, we do conferences, I do men's conferences, marriage conferences, women's conferences. I'm the guy they fly in to talk about sex, and then I don't see them for 5 or 10 years, okay? So I understand more than anybody. But my response is to start a Sex, Men, and God group for 12 weeks in your house, in your office, on your social media. You be the solution. You know, when I was a pastor, I'm going to tell you a quick story. I was associate pastor of a church, and it was a great experience for me, all right? And I love pastors, and you do great, it's a lot of work. But I want to share the story with you. And that is when I was associate pastor, we had this idea in our leadership group. And it went something like this: if you see it, you do it. And so if someone complained about the children's ministry, we assigned them to children's ministry. If someone complained about the youth group that we should be doing this or that, they got assigned to the youth group. If someone complained about we need to do more social activities, they became the social coordinator. And see, what happened is people had to start taking responsibility for what they saw, and it also stopped all the people who see things but don't do things. And like, well, that ministry exists in your heart, so go do it. And if you're really concerned about the men in your church, get the material, give it to your pastor, be the man and say, listen, I will volunteer and do this. You know, I can read, okay, I can share this information, we can talk, we can get in groups in the basement of the church, we can do this, okay? Now I want to go back to what I call the 2 A's, okay, that can be real challenges in the area of sexuality. The first A is sexual abuse. 15% of men have been sexually abused, at least. This affects their spirit, soul, and body, whether they're Christians or not. And I've seen this rivet people. I've been sexually abused. I get it. It can cause shame. Shame is not, I did something bad. Shame is, I am bad. And they really take this core belief, and then they start creating a whole worthless plan for their life and sabotaging success and all that kind of stuff. It can move them towards behavior with themselves and fantasy and pornography because they've already been objectified by another person. They were used as an object during the sexual encounter by a man or a woman. And a lot of men are sexually abused by women, not just men. Okay, and this teaches them how to have object sex, and they might go out and have a whole years or a whole season of object sex because that's what they learned in their sexual abuse. Okay, and women do sexually abuse men, but men often don't call it abuse. I can't tell you how many hundreds of men I've asked about their first sexual encounter, and the women were years and sometimes decades older than them, and they thought they got lucky. They didn't get lucky, they got shot. And they didn't even know they got shot, but they have all the symptoms of someone who's been sexually abused. And men and women, they tend to blame themselves for the abuse. Like, I did something to make that happen. No, that was a predator, and you just happened to be walking in the field that day and you got shot. Had nothing to do with you. They would have used any person to satisfy their cravings for the lust of younger people. Okay? But the sexual abuse survivor, man or woman, they carry the secret. I know I was sexually abused. I believe I'm broken. I don't know if anyone can love me again. I am defiled. I am unclean. These are the messages that go inside their heart. Now, let me speak to you, men, if you've been abused. You need to tell someone. And I'm serious about this. Find a safe pastor, a mentor, or a counselor, a male, and tell somebody. Okay, you're not going to heal until you bring the secret out. And I really strongly encourage you to do that today. Make the appointment today. Okay? In the Sex, Men, and God book, I give you lots of tools to help you heal from sexual abuse, but we have to be honest first. And this is so important. And women, if you know a man in your life, get them Sex, Men, and God book, especially if you know they've been sexually abused. Now, the second area I want to talk about is sexual addiction, be it with self-behaviors, with behaviors with others, images, or other behaviors that are so destructive in the area of sexuality. And as of this taping right now, I've been sober and free for 37 years from pornography and any self-behaviors, and I take a polygraph test to verify that. Now, if you're addicted, you tried to stop. You made promises to stop. You even had consequences and still went back to the behavior. A man or woman knows when they are addicted, if they have a secret life, if they're protecting the secret. No one knows about my little stash or my little accounts that nobody knows about. And they believe if you really knew me, you wouldn't love me. Christian men, especially young men, are not warned like they are in the Men and God book and materials about the dangers of becoming addicted, how to they can set up their brain to be multi-stimulated for things that are death. Now, if you're addicted after you admit it to yourself, again, tell a man what is going on, because then you can start healing. And we have plenty recovery materials on sexual addiction on our website. You can get those, and you can get free. Any man can get free who wants to get free. Now, you don't get to do it the way you want to do it, but you can get free.
For more content and resources to help in your healing journey with Christ, make sure to follow Dr. Doug Weiss on Facebook and Instagram. If you'd like to share full episodes of this show with friends and family, subscribe to Healing Time Ministries on YouTube, and feel free to leave us a comment on any of Dr. Doug's social media platforms. Our team would love to hear your feedback and learn how Healing Time is impacting your life, your church, and your ministry.